Good morning, everybody. First of all, can I just say many apologies for not getting this episode out to you yesterday. It should have come out at 6 p.m, but we're sailing, as you can see. So we didn't get the edit done in time. In fact, we did, sort of, and then we uploaded it last night to YouTube and watched it and thought, oh no, it's got too many mistakes in it, we've got to do this and this and this. So we had to wait until today, which, you know, hey-oh, it's an extra day. So we are currently out sailing, and I'm not going to tell you where because you'll have to watch future episodes. This is future Andy coming to you. So we have officially left Weymouth, and now I'm going to hand over to past Andy for the episode that should have been out last night.
So we're coming to the end of our stay in Weymouth, and it has mostly been a lot of this.
2 years ago we started building this insane cockpit enclosure, and at last the stainless and fiberglass work is finally finished. Melissa has worked incredibly hard over the last 2 to 3 weeks to get the fabric work done, and I'm just blown away by the results. Last week you saw her complete the side panels, so this week she's getting on with the rear panels to turn this into what we think is the ultimate hard and soft Dodger.
I've roped Andy into coming outside and helping me figure out where this back window is going to be. I've been doing a lot of head scratching about this project, and I'm a bit stressed about the back window.
Okay, well, it's half of 108.90. So put 90 in the middle. Well, the whole width from this goes from that.
I don't know if you can hear me because it's windy. I haven't got the right mics. That was just a very rough sketch with some rough measurements, just more to see how it'll look, and then I will measure it properly once it's on the floor, basically. This glass scratch is fairly easy. It's the right stuff, but obviously you've got to be really careful moving it around on a surface like this. So I've cut a rough piece to size inside the boat, and I'm going to measure it out properly. I'm going to put a blanket down on the pontoon so I can move the fabric around and hopefully mark it and draw it, and then go and sew a zip on it. I'm just trying to work out my radius for the bottom of the zip because it's going to be one continuous zip, and my plate's too small, so I'm not quite sure what to use. Might have to be string and a pin, but that takes more effort and I haven't got the energy for more effort today. I think I'm happy with that. I kind of free-handed it with the help of my plate, and I'm just going to fold it in half. I'm going to fold it in half and then just copy it on the other side. I think that will be a shallow enough curve for the zip to follow. We shall see. This bit, all the other bits I've sort of used a combination of YouTube videos and months of thinking about it. I can't find any videos on how to put a zip-in window into a different fabric. I've found like putting a zip-in window into a piece of clear fabric, but I want to make the zip itself waterproof, and it's given me a bit of a headache. So it may be that this is a complete disaster and I end up having to make the rear panel again. Thankfully I do have enough fabric to do that if I need to, but it's kind of a suck it and see situation, as my dear dad would say. I just put the camera down and thought that people that aren't British might think that suck it and see sounds really bizarre. But I've just double checked it on Google to make sure that I haven't just made it up or that it was totally inappropriate. But apparently it's not. British, informal, to try something. Hang on. Basically, to try something in order to find out if it's good or effective. We don't know if it works. We'll just have to suck it and see. So there you go. A phrase that us Brits use that's not weird or inappropriate, honest. There's lots. We say lots of things and we get lots of comments about, you know, bits and bobs. If Andy says, oh, I'm just going to see if I've got something in this bag of bits and bobs. There's all sorts of ones. Drop them in the comments if you can think of any weird British sayings that, you know, if you went anywhere else in the world, they'd be like, what does that mean? I love weird sayings from different countries. My friends in Australia, they come out with some funny things, and that's you know, over here would mean something completely different. So yeah, give me some of your comments, make me have a laugh this evening. That's close. I have a ridiculously long zip. When I started this project, I thought, oh, I'll buy all the zip, not thinking that they all needed to be removable panels. So I bought 15 meters of zip, which I'm going to keep because if I ever have to replace the zip on the stack pack or make a new stack pack, then I'll have enough zip. But I think what I'm going to do is stick this to the outside of the glass. This might be wrong, and there'll be some people that do this for a living screaming at me in the comments. Maybe, I don't know, because I don't know, I'm just guessing. And I'm hoping that I've thought about it practically and I don't end up cutting out the wrong bit or something bizarre. So I'm gonna sew this to here. And then the challenge is I'm going to have to snip the zip all around this corner. So I'll have to put some binding on the back to hide the snips. And then I'm going to stick it to the fabric, sew it to the fabric, and then cut the canvas with a big overlap so I can hem it back with enough of an overlap round here to kind of stop the rain getting in. We shall see if that works. That's my plan. Stan. Yeah. Anyway, boat's a mess. Andy's taking the boys out to give me some space. Yeah, so I'm going to do that somehow, somewhere. Or I could have gone to my cousin's to do this, but I found it so much easier doing it on the boat because I've never made anything before of this scale. I found it a lot easier to be able to like go in and out and hang something up and come back, and you know, people that do this all the time just take the templates, they know exactly what they're doing, and then get back to the boat, and most of the time it fits, and they might have to take it away to make a couple of modifications. But it's definitely been challenging doing it in a small space, and this will be the most challenging thing because it's such a big span. But it's been actually really useful for me because I've got the boat here and the frame, and I can just go backwards and forwards and sort it out. So I've sewn this zip on all the way around. Oh, I think it looks all right. Next step, I think, is to get the panel out on the pontoon and zip the zip on this and stick it down onto the canvas. Right, so that is the window stuck down. I've put like 4 or 5 pins in because I don't want to make many holes, and I've drawn chalk around it because the basting tape that I've got is not the best. I'm just hoping that when I take it in the saloon and kind of roll it up, it doesn't just all come unstuck. But this is what it looks like. It looks pretty cool. I'm worried that these might kind of crease up, and then I'll cut the inside out, I think. Well, I definitely will, but yeah, it's definitely making me scratch my head. I'm scared. I'm really scared. This is really blooming difficult. I've sewn all the way round, and I accidentally have sewn one of the straps, the tensioner straps in, so I've got to unpick it and go back to that bit. The window, it needs tensioning and fiddling with. I've still got to do tie downs on here, and I've got to cut this smaller and put some binding on to make sure water doesn't get through the zip. So that's my next job, and then once I've done that, I will then put it down in all the places and put all the fittings and sew the bottom, basically. But it's on and it's done, and we've got windows all around. And it wasn't an easy job in the small space. We have a fully enclosed cockpit with windows all around. It's not quite finished. There's definitely some tweaking that I've got to do. There's some bits that I've got to add up here to stop zips coming undone, and extra panels and things. But I'm pretty pleased with it.
It's finished, completely finished, but as you've been doing it, you've realised there are bits you need to add.
It's not finished. There's
a strip along the bottom for abrasion and stuff.
So I need to put a strip along the bottom and just finish the aft end of it and put more fittings there. And I'm not completely happy with how this window sits, so hopefully once I've put different tensioners in different places, then it will work. But basically I'm also going to be putting the main sheet,
Car adjusters will come through into here, I think. But you can access main sheet. Obviously this opens all the way up. Yeah, so you can adjust your main sheet from in here. You can adjust the car from in here. And I still need to add all the clips so you can roll things up. And I've got loads of mesh to make mesh windows so we can replace glass for mesh. When it's warm. Yeah, and to keep the mozzies out, because this will be fully mozzie proof. Yeah. But as Melissa says, all of these glass panels will be removable or replaceable with mesh so that we can keep good airflow, which we'll need. I mean, we've only had it for a few days completed, and it's just completely transformed the boat. Yeah, it's made it into a completely different place to be. Ollie had a bath out here last night, which was so nice. He was just sat here splashing around, playing in his bath bucket. And it means that we can sit out here with Ollie, we can zip the sides down,
and obviously we're still out here with him. He hasn't figured out zips, but it won't take him long. But it just means that he can run about, and we're not worried about him going up to foredeck or climbing over anything without us having to leave the cockpit. So it's
significant obstacles in the way of him getting off the boat.
Yes. Yeah.
What, you know, three of which being you, me and Jack are the most significant obstacles. But the more obstacles we can put in the way of a child going overboard, the better.
And the weather just feels so much nicer, because even if it's cold and windy outside, it's warm and sunny in here.
Yeah, you feel like you're outdoors, but you're warm and not...
And it's going to be great to, obviously tomorrow, I haven't put any pockets for winches in or anything. That they will probably come in time, or we might just find that we just zip it up to winch it, but tomorrow we'll probably just take the sides out.
Oh yeah, you mean the access hatches so you can get the air.
Yeah.
But I mean, I was doing that the other day, and you can just unzip, unzip a few inches, tighten up the sheet, and zip it back down.
Yeah.
It's a 2-second job.
Yeah.
It's as quick to undo that zip as it would be to undo a piece of Velcro 4 inches away.
Yeah.
You know, I can't see the point in adding extra detail when why put a zip by the winch when there's a zip 4 inches away, and a zip's a zip, isn't it?
But one more thing I want to talk about is cost. So as you know, we like to try and do things on a budget and as cheaply as possible, but this obviously we want to last some time, so we have used quality material. But how much did it cost? A lot less than you would think, and I would love to hear from anyone that does this as a profession to let me know how much you would have charged for this. Obviously it would look better than this, but I found this place in Poole called the Dorset Scrap Store, and local sailmakers drop off their excess material, and I happened to get the same stuff that I did the stack packs with, which I also got cheap as well, and all this canvas cost me £4, and all the plastic, and I've got enough to do the canvas and the plastic again. The plastic cost me £5, this canvas cost me £4, and I've got another few more rolls for like £2 each inside the boat, and I've got enough to make this whole cockpit enclosure probably another 3 times.
Yeah.
So there might be some modifications. You might see me remaking it, but yeah. So £9 for fabric. The expensive-ish bit has been all the fixtures and fittings, because we've used proper marine stuff. Obviously we've got bolt rope, we've got track, we've got lots of zips and tensioners, and I bought some excess stuff that I didn't actually need, so I can send that back. But that came to about £200. So yeah, it's cost.
Total cost.
Probably about £200.
200 cost, yeah, 200 quid.
Time and effort.
Yeah.
And a sewing machine.
Yeah.
Which obviously has paid for itself 10 times over already, just making this. But it would be great to know how much you would pay for this.
Yeah, how much you would pay for it, and how much a sailmaker would charge for this if they did it, if we'd have, you know, because it's completely custom built to fit this custom made stainless enclosure. You know, getting somebody to spend the time required here on the boat, templating it on the boat, and kind of making the mods on the boat, it's just crazy. Kettle's boiling. Cup of tea.
As you can see on the aft curtain, I've got to play about with the tensioners. I've got some I hadn't ordered enough tension things, so they're just tied onto D-rings, so obviously they'll be on special tensioners, and there's going to be poppers and all sorts along there as well. And then I will carry on this orange band around the bottom, and there'll be binding, so that here will all change, which hopefully will change the shape and hold I think it will hold it a lot better once I've added those extra bits on there. But here it is. been great about being in Weymouth Marina is the community.
Yes,
It's been
absolutely.
really lovely here. There's so many people on their boats, obviously at the start of a new season and stuff, so there's loads of people around. And every Friday night they have a barbecue.
Yeah.
In a shared tent, and they have a coffee morning.
Yes.
And the staff are really lovely and friendly.
Yeah.
And it's just been super convenient to carry on with the last few major boat projects.
Yes.
Or the big boat project, because I have spent a lot of time in the Chandlers getting extra bits for my project. We feel a little bit more like we're on holiday here because
yes.
of the big sandy beach.
Yeah, that's exactly it. So this feels more like somewhere that you would come and you'd bring your family, and there's more to do for the kids. If what you want is a base to do serious sailing, Portland is Portland is better, because you can in and out at any state of tide. You can go sailing and go places. So what I would say is use Portland as your base to explore the whole of the south coast from Brighton to Falmouth. Use Weymouth as somewhere to keep your boat for a holiday destination, somewhere that you like to spend time in your boat. You can still get in and out because the bridge lifts every 2 hours. It's really convenient, but it's much more of a vibrant atmosphere. If we'd been here over winter, we would have got a lot less done, because there's more going on, there's more community. We'd have been more sociable, and we wouldn't have been able to get as much done. So we got more done at Portland, but this is a better place, I think, to just relax and chill out. Our normal time lapses are quite long, and you probably go and put the kettle on. Don't go and put the kettle on, because this will be over quick. And that's it, you're in town. You may be wondering where the children are. Well, our friend has come to stay for a couple of days to see us while we're in a marina before we go off to anchor somewhere. Although I don't actually know where we're going next. Talk about that later. But while she's here, she's just looking after the kids for half an hour so that we can go for a nice romantic walk on Weymouth Beach. It never happens. We never get time alone now.
We spent a lot of time on this beach. We haven't filmed it because we've enjoyed some family time. Ollie's had so much fun.
He has.
Building sandcastles.
Yeah.
And Jack's just been digging future ones.
And the beach is absolutely huge. The sand is unbelievable. It's supposed to be reputedly the finest sand in the world, and I'm fairly sure, having made that claim, there will be people in it's like cornflour. There will be people in Australia and other places in the world who go, that's not true, ours is the finest sand in the world. But here, as far as the public awareness campaign is concerned, it is the finest sand in the world. So that's what I shall stick to.
One of the great things about this beach is the fact that it's a lifeguarded beach and has certain swimming areas, so it's super safe, and there's lots of toilets and showers on the shore as well, so it's all kitted out for summer holidays.
Weymouth is one of those rare places where history and harbour life mix in just the right way. It's got that classic British seaside charm, but just beneath the surface you'll find a working town with deep maritime roots. Down on the high street it's all pastel shop fronts and the smell of chips in the air. What do you guys call chips in America? It's chips. But turn a corner and there it is, a cannonball still lodged in the wall from a battle fought centuries ago.
I've just spotted a cannonball in the wall.
What's a cannonball in the wall?
We're going to have to go back and find out about that and bring Jack along to see it, because that's very cool. Look at that.
A little reminder that this sleepy seaside town hasn't always been so quiet.
Weymouth hosts one of the biggest sand building competitions in the world, I believe, and it claims to have the finest sand. They said they haven't measured it, but they reckon they've got the finest sand in the world. And I mean, these sculptures are really cool. They're made out of sand, but a bit further outside of Weymouth, there's actually a sand building museum full of sculptures.
The harbour entrance is always busy, fishing boats, pleasure cruisers and yachts sneaking in between tides. It's a proper working harbour. You can feel it in the air, the rust and the seabirds crying overhead. The lifting bridge is like the town's beating heart. Every time it rises, traffic stops, tourists point their cameras and another boat passes through off to somewhere new or back from somewhere wild. There's something about Weymouth that feels solid, real. It's not trying to impress, it just is what it is. A town with stories in the stonework and salt in its bones. And for us, it's been been a brilliant place to pause, stock up, get things done and breathe a bit before we leave again to go somewhere new.
Morning. Jack and I are going sailing on somebody else's boat. We're going to head out of Weymouth, I think, and across to somewhere called Durdle Door. That's right, Durdle Door. Hello. Hello.
Hello?
Jack will be here in a second. He's just gone to get my water bottle that I forgot. You got your captain's hat. Right, so this is Lloydie and Kate, and in the captain's hat is Oscar and Ethan. Yeah, very rudely forgetting their names. And we're out for the day going up towards Durdle Door. Whether we get there or not is another matter. It's a lovely, lovely day. Very, very light winds, so we'll see how we get on. And we're going in a couple of minutes. What boat is this, as you know? Sunfast? Sunrise 35. Solid boat.
I just want to say huge thanks to Lloydie and Kate and Ethan and Oscar for making us feel so welcome. This cruising life is amazing, and we do try to make sure the kids get as much socialisation as possible, so experiences like this are just so precious. Stretching for 95 miles along England's south coast, the Jurassic Coast is a living timeline, a place where 185 million years of Earth's history is literally written into the cliffs. It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site, not just for its beauty, but its fossils, its geology, and the sense of scale it gives you.
Progress report. Durdle Door is another 40 minutes ahead of us, I think. Perhaps a bit less. But I think fairly soon we're going to turn around. It's only a day sail today. And we're aiming to go back in to Weymouth for the 4 o'clock bridge. Now the bridge lifts up and down every 2 hours, so we're planning to go in on the 4 o'clock bridge. So I think we're probably going to turn around just before Durdle Door and meander back. We have got less than 8 knots of wind and about 4 knots of boat speed. We've got the engine on at the moment. So it's just a lovely pootle around the bay today. Nothing dramatic, nothing adventurous, just a nice day out on the boat.
Every layer in those cliffs was once a seabed, desert, swamp, and somehow they're all still here, standing against the sea. Durdle Door is one of the coast's most iconic landmarks, a natural limestone arch carved out over millennia by the pounding of waves and the pulling of tides. It's surreal, almost sculptural, and the first time you see it, it genuinely takes your breath away. People have walked this coastline for centuries to fish, to trade, to escape, to marvel, and today, whether you're hiking the cliffs, swimming beneath the arch, or just sitting still, it's impossible not to feel small, in a good way. The Jurassic Coast reminds you that we're just passing through. These rocks have seen entire ages come and go, but for a moment you get to be part of that story.
It wouldn't be a proper look round the marina without having a look in the showers, because you know me, I judge my marinas on the showers. Now, for those of you that have used public showers, you will appreciate how amazing this is. The fact that there's 2 shower heads, a temperature control, and one you can remove. That never happens. Really cool, the fact that you get your own personal bathroom with toilet and sink and your little shower cubicle. Comes with loads of hanging hooks, which is an essential in a shower block. So you've got places to put your stuff. My only criticism is that they could do with bins in the individual showers, but there's bins in the individual toilets in the toilet block. You can even get your own hairdryer. All in all, great showers.
There's a growing movement among UK marinas to take a real responsibility for the health of our coastline. The Clean Marina scheme isn't about greenwashing, it's not just about ticking boxes or planting a few flowers to win a badge, it's about deep structural change. The kind that takes boots in mud, data from labs and a long-term mindset. Here at Weymouth, the staff are out on the lowest spring tides in waders, physically removing debris from the marina bed, pulling up tyres, tangled lines and bits of old infrastructure that have been sitting for decades. Not because it's a good photo opportunity, but because it needs doing. They are trialling the introduction of filter feeding mussels and native seaweeds, looking at how natural organisms can help clean the water and restore balance to a man-made environment. These aren't vanity projects. They're informed by science, supported by research and driven by a real sense of duty. Yes, Weymouth is proud of its heritage as a fishing port, a naval hub, a working town by the sea, but modern tools give us a chance to go beyond nostalgia. Today's marina can be a clean water pioneer with smart filtration systems, oil spill kits, recycling plans, pump out stations, and crucially a culture of accountability. The Clean Marina accreditation isn't handed out lightly. To earn it, a marina must meet a checklist of criteria, from pollution prevention and waste management to education, energy efficiency and community engagement. And when all that's in place, yes, that place looks great, but the beauty runs deeper than a tidy pontoon. It's about leading by example and making sure that the sea we love is still worth loving for the next generation too.
Earlier on in the episode, I mentioned that we don't know where we're going yet.
That was because of the wind direction.
Because of the wind direction. So we've just been up to speak to Paul, the marina manager, and the plan is to leave tomorrow. I don't think that's going to be in this episode because it's Wednesday, so we've got to edit this episode and get it live to you. It won't be in this episode. So we're going to leave tomorrow. We're actually going to leave the pontoon tonight and go out of the marina onto the guest pontoon just outside. Really good facilities here, so for doing that kind of thing. But that means we can leave at the crack of dawn tomorrow, we're going to go to Brixham. And the reason we're going that direction is because the wind is in the northeast. So we could go up to Studland Bay or Poole, but we'd be beating the whole way, and we don't need to. We live on a boat and we have the freedom and go where the wind takes us. So we're going to go out into the English Channel and turn right and go south west, yes, instead of going northeast.
I've been into Brixham on my day skipper, but I'm looking forward to taking Jack to see and Ollie to see the big pirate thing that's in Brixham.
Oh, that's right. I've never been. Yeah. Jack's never been. Ollie's never been. It'll be great to visit the place, and we'll have a brisk, fresh downwind leg in the morning, we think, and then the wind will die off throughout the day, and we'll have virtually no wind at all in the afternoon.
So really helpful in the office. Paul looked at sat down with us. We looked at the tide times to go around Portland Bill. I think we're planning on doing the Insure passage, hence why we're going out tonight to hit it at kind of just after sunrise tomorrow.
We could go on the outside passage, but it adds a couple of hours to the journey. When we might decide to do that.
Yeah, we'll see how we feel. Get out.
If it's too brisk and it's too bouncy, then we'll go further out, go around the outside passage, and we've got all day to get to Brixham because we'll have left super early in the morning.
Yeah.
So that's the freedom of this. We don't have to stick to an itinerary or be somewhere that we've said that we're going to be. We're just going to look at the wind tomorrow, go, which direction is it going? Oh, right, let's go that way then.
Yeah.